would you like to get healthy with herbal remedies? Dr. Jeffrey Burke will tell us how to do it. And what's so special about Dr. Jeffrey Burke is that he's the director of education for Kukora Life and host of the Honest Health podcast. So, Jeffrey, tell us more about how someone can get healthy with herbal remedies.
Heal Podcast with Lily Patrascu shares longevity and anti-aging techniques to stay young forever, increase energy, overcome addiction, and live your longest, best life ever. Shared by world's most innovative, alternative, and traditional health thought leaders, healers, and doctors. Discover quantum healing strategies to heal your mind, body, and soul.
Well, I think today we're all on the mission of feeling better and wanting to get healthy and be healthy and stay healthy. And I think a lot of us have to remember that all good things take time. And most of us did not end up in the situation we're in overnight. And we are all looking for ways to be able to feel better than we do today. Herbs have been around, many of them for thousands of years. So they've been tested time and true. But even with all of that information, it's always good to do your homework and find out where you're trying to end up, and then choose the best herbal remedies to help to get you there, on top of a great diet, exercise, sleep, and all those things as well.
Thank you. Tell us more about what should someone do to make sure they choose the best herbal remedies for their specific condition.
I think you need to do your homework and find out, what you're trying to do. Are you trying to work on your immune system? Are you trying to work on your energy levels? Are you trying to get a better night's sleep? Are you just trying to feel better overall? And then once you've decided that, you do your research and you can actually bring up all the herbs in those areas that actually can help to make a difference. And then you choose the companies. I try to have people choose companies that are pure and that are transparent with their formulations, that list on the labels everything they're doing. Of course, I try to lean people toward certified organic and certified regenerative herbal products, because that way you're getting transparency and purity. And I think those things are very, very important, specifically if you're trying to get results, because not all products are created equal, just like everything in the world. Not all things are created equal.
Thank you. Tell us more about herbal remedies for autoimmune conditions. Are there any specific herbs you recommend?
Well, I think a lot of people today still use quite a few things like echinacea, which is wonderful for helping with the immune system. It's been around for a very, very long time. Holy basil has been around for a very long time as well. I think that those are two things that a lot of people like to use, and they like to kind of intermingle them in between like their vitamin products, like a good probiotic and a good multiple vitamin and some vitamin C, and then maybe fortifying your regimen with wonderful herbs that can make a dramatic difference in your overall health. And after the pandemic, I think people look at the immune system a little differently today. I think a lot of us look at it as a way of preventively taking care of ourselves rather than waiting until we're sick.
Thank you. For those that suffer from sleep disturbances, are there any herbal remedies for sleep?
Wonderful. Chinese skullcap is a great product. Passionflower is another great product. Two of my favorites. People use things like kava. They use chamomile. A lot of people drink chamomile tea in the evening because it's very relaxing. But when you have some of the major health problems and maybe you're not sleeping well or your stress levels are high, I kind of steer people toward things like passionflower and skullcap.
Thank you. For those that are preventively trying to feel good, and remain, in a really great, healthy state. Are there any herbal remedies you recommend for people that just want to prevent any illnesses to occur?
Well, I think one of the standard herbs that a lot of people are hearing about today, and obviously it's been around for a very long time in Indian and, of course, traditional Ayurvedic medicine, of course, is ashwagandha. People take ashwagandha for everything from helping with hormonal balancing, helping with the immune system, helping with stress, and people that are overly anxious. It also gives you benefits at night to help you relax and sleep. And we do live in a pretty stressful world. And I think that keeping our stress in order and managing our stress actually helps everything and the whole body moving forward. So if I had to put my finger on one herb, I would probably say ashwagandha.
Thank you. Tell us about people who are perhaps overweight and they would like to get rid of some of that weight. Are there any herbal remedies for that?
There have been over the years, but none that really come to mind as a very overall heavily successful situation. Obviously, when it comes to weight loss, it really comes down to diet. It comes down to diet, less calories in, more expenditure of calories, activity levels, managing your stress, getting a good night's sleep. People don't think that a good night's sleep can lead to weight loss, but it can, because when people are very tired, they tend to eat more during the day to bring up their energy. But like I said, staying hydrated, keeping your attitude a lot more positive than negative really helps with some of the foods that we're eating. But it really does come down to the diet that we're consuming and the amount of calories and the lack of exercise that we have.
Thank you. For those people that want to have their gut balanced, to have their gut health in order, are there any herbal remedies for that?
Well, aloe vera is considered an herb. A lot of people drink aloe vera for their stomach. Ginger is one of my favorite for gut health. It's for help with everything from nausea to travel sickness to first trimester morning sickness to just an upset stomach. But on top of that, we need to kind of branch a little bit away from herbs, but kind of do a distant, category of probiotics and digestive enzymes to do what we used to do when our stomachs worked very well. And then on top of that, staying hydrated. And then the same list again: diet, exercise, sleep, and stress management.
Thank you. For those people wanting to remove parasites, are there any herbal remedies you recommend?
Yeah, there was something called wormwood combination that was recommended years ago, and it was black walnut hulls and green tea. Those are things that are very effective, but there are really great cleanses that are herbal cleanses that are available on the market at your local health food stores. You would just ask them for a parasite cleanse, but they have things like clove and green tea and wormwood and things in there that just kind of help to destroy a lot of the parasitic action that's usually in the body, in the blood, or in the gut.
Thank you. What are the best remedies for hormonal balance?
I think if I had to put my finger on one herb, I would probably say maca. I think maca is a wonderful herb. It actually is a tuber. It comes from the very high elevation in Peru. It is used for everything from energy, but over there and many parts of the world, it's used for hormonal balance for women. Men use it as well because it helps with virility, but a lot of women use it for pre and for menopause and postmenopausal, for helping with mood and libido and kind of keeping them a little bit more balanced. Of course, a good strong B complex is very effective, but I think that probably would be the one herb that I'd recommend. If I only could pick one, it'd be maca.
Thank you. For those women struggling with menopause, are there any other herbal remedies you recommend?
Well, there a lot of people recommend things like Don Quai, and they recommend black cohosh. They also recommend maca as well to fit into that category. Also, believe it or not, ashwagandha. Ashwagandha releases testosterone for men and for women. It helps with balancing of hormonal dysfunction. So that combination would work very well, along with diet and stress management. Stress plays a big factor with hormones, and most women will say once their stress was more managed, they were better in the hormonal category.
Thank you. For those women experiencing brain fog because of menopause, are there any herbal remedies for that?
Well, mucuna is great for kind of invigorating the brain. I branch into mushrooms many times, like lion's mane, which is very, very effective for brain activity and cognitive function, which really does well. Also, things like bacopa and ginkgo biloba, two wonderful herbs, one getting blood to the brain, the other one helping to kind of create new neural pathways in the brain. Very, very successful. And you don't have to be older. There's many younger people today that are taking these things because they're already starting to see some brain fog, if you will.
Thank you. For those that are, let's say, over 40 and want to prevent Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and other neurodegenerative conditions, are there any herbal remedies for that?
Well, those are disease states, so obviously you can't really make a correlation, but I think one of the best things we can do, especially if they're genetic and they're in the family, you have to keep as healthy as you possibly can. You have to feed and nourish the body correctly, which means avoiding too much alcohol, of course, smoking, and very unhealthy diets, staying away from hydrogenated oils and trans fats. But also, I would follow the same thing. If it was me and I'm thinking, how can I maybe make my brain and my cognitive function a little bit healthier as I'm getting older, it would be the same thing. Ginkgo biloba, bacopa, as probably two, and then of course lion's mane. These are nutritional supplements that are very safe, and they do what they can do to help to keep us on a path. And then, of course, using your brain. I've always heard that they say doing crossword puzzles as you get older is very beneficial, but to me, it just keeps people busy. They say the best way to learn and to really help your brain be stimulated is to learn a musical instrument or to learn a new language. Those are the ways you create better neuroplasticity and better neural pathways in the brain.
Wow, that's fascinating. Tell us about herbal remedies for great blood circulation.
My favorite would probably be cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is a roto-rooter for the blood. It actually moves the blood very quickly. Ginkgo biloba as well is a blood mover, if you will. Cayenne is actually a blood thinner, but ginkgo is more of a blood mover within the system. There are many natural cardiovascular doctors that are more on the naturopathic side for their patients that would actually recommend cayenne pepper. It's a little sensitive on the stomach, but it really does increase your circulatory blood flow. B vitamins like niacin, of course, and garlic, being a food, but an herb, also beneficial for the blood.
Thank you. What other herbal remedies you recommend that you personally take to prevent getting ill, for example?
I'm a big believer in ashwagandha. I take turmeric every single day because I think turmeric is a wonderful product for helping with keeping our body more balanced and helping to keep us in a more managed inflammatory state. Those are two of my mainstays. I'm a huge believer in using odorless garlic. I think garlic is amazing and overlooked. I take cayenne pepper myself. I take bacopa and ginseng and garlic and all these wonderful things for the brain, ginkgo biloba. I love using all of those because these are things that actually move the blood. They increase your circulation. They help the cells, work and function more effectively. So I take quite a bit of things, but I'm not young anymore. So, you have to start looking at things a little differently when you get older.
Thank you. Have you ever noticed an improvement of your cognitive function when you take, for example, like spirulina, or there are some others that I can't remember right now that I was taking, like wheatgrass and
chlorella, maybe?
Probably chlorella.
Chlorella's in there as well.
There's also like a mushroom mix. I'm not sure if it was like lion's mane and some other mushroom mix that was quite interesting. And there's also another one that was like protein, but I can't remember the name of it now. Did you find any benefit in that?
I've been using greens for a very long time. I use alfalfa. I use green kamut. I use chlorella. I use spirulina as my green foundation because they're so nutritive. Your body it just responds very, very well. And anything that's chlorophyll based is wonderful for the blood as well. I use those as a foundation. I've been using it for probably 30 years. The addition to that would be the lion's mane and the bacopa and the ginkgo biloba. But that combination makes a dramatic difference. The amount of studying I have to do and, the amount of shows and stuff that I do, as well as traveling around the country 3 weeks a month, lecturing, you have to be able to have your thought come to your brain and then come to your mouth as quickly as it can. And these have made a dramatic difference. Plus, I come from an Alzheimer family, so there already is genetic problems in my bloodline. So I started taking these things a long time ago, and knock on wood, it's been very, very successful using these combinations.
Thank you. Are there any types of toxicity that entrepreneurs should be aware of in terms of keeping themselves healthy by simply not taking those toxic things?
Well, I think we have to remember that, even the best things in the world, there's going to be people that can't use them because of an allergic reaction or maybe a counterindication with maybe a medication that they're using. I've learned a long time ago that the best way to get healthy is to do your homework and to search out a doctor that is nutritionally oriented, someone who understands, like a good naturopath or a DO that can actually work with you and help to give you the guidance that you need. And I think we need to do our homework. Don't just take something just because you heard it was good or you saw it on social media without doing your homework away from the social media, going to PubMed and maybe pulling up some information. You want to make sure that it is a nutrient that you can use, a nutrient that you should use, and maybe one that you should or should not consider. Especially when there's pregnancy or breastfeeding, or people are going through therapy, when they're on thyroid medication, when they have high blood pressure, cardiovascular problems. There are healthy nutrients that you cannot use. So it comes down to doing your homework.
Thank you. Tell us what else you would like people to know about getting healthy with herbal remedies.
Number one, do your homework. Number two, ask questions and be curious. Being curious really gets you in the right direction. And make sure that you're asking questions of people or physicians or the medical establishment, or just doing of people that you know, and you're doing their readings or you're following them in their podcasts. But they're people that have done their homework. They walk the walk, they talk the talk. You probably will get your best answers that way. Never guess, never assume, and always be curious.
Thank you. Tell us about your personal journey towards health. Was there any moment where you weren't healthy, and did this trigger your curiosity towards health?
I was a very sickly child. My grandmother was an herbalist, self-acclaimed herbalist, but she was brilliant at it. And I used a lot of her remedies growing up, and that kind of installed the passion in me. And I started right after college, and I started in the natural products industry. I started on the air. I've been in the industry now 46 years. I was on the radio for 42 years, did well into the tens of thousands of radio shows. And when radio wasn't really kind of doing what it used to do, I switched over and started a podcast, which gives people the variety and the comfort to listen to things when it's comfortable for them. And I just think when you start out as a kid and you get that little bit of passion, and it really applies to you, because I was a really sickly child, it made such a difference that I wanted to make the difference for everybody else.
Thank you. Was there any particular herb that made a particular impact on you at a really critical moment of health or ill health, I guess?
Garlic. My grandmother was Ukrainian and Polish, and she used garlic in everything. She would chop it up in olive oil and put it on bread when you were sick. That was your antibiotic. I learned so much about garlic as a child. I mean, we smelled like garlic, but nonetheless, we were healthy. And but that was my first imprinting into there. And then, of course, she used to pick dandelions and make dandelion tea. So I had the bug at a very young age.
Thank you. Is there anything else you would like to share about getting healthy with herbal remedies?
I just think the thing is, make sure you search out quality and integrity. Always demand transparency with your products. Make sure that you're buying products that are made from companies that are doing it right, thinking about you, the consumer, making them potent and effective and safe. And if you don't know, do your homework. It'll definitely tell you, because the companies that are doing it right have nothing to hide, and they're very open and transparent, and those are the products that you want to choose from.
Thank you. Tell us how entrepreneurs can connect with you and get their hands on reliable, great herbal remedies.
The first thing to do is everything is at my webpage. It's just drjeffreyburke.com. And if you go there, you can get information. You can leave me messages. I have amazing references that are there you can look at. You can tap on the YouTube logo and it'll take you to YouTube, to my podcast. And then you can also click on the other icon that I have there and take you to any of the audio, because I'm on all platforms. And you can email me as well, and I answer every email that I get.
Follow me for more interviews with world's most innovative health changemakers to live your healthiest life ever.